Before we start the show, let's hear from one of our sponsors. Their support keeps this show free for you. Does connected parenting feel confusing? What do I do in this situation? How do I handle that issue? Let me help you make more sense of it all in my 30-day challenge. We meet for 4 weeks of group coaching, and you get access to all of the Peace in Parenting online materials, my entire Connected Parent Mastermind. Plus, we give you access to our school community. I help you get more connected and jumpstart your parenting in this 30-day challenge. So go to the show notes and sign up, and I'll see you there. Hi, I'm Michelle, a mother of 2 teens. 13 years ago, I traded in punishments and rewards for connection. Now I prioritize relationship over behaviors, utilize play as a parenting tool, and set limits with empathy instead of consequences. Each week, I share my journey and interview clients, experts, and followers. Thanks for joining me on the Peace in Parenting podcast. I'm so glad you're here.
Welcome to the Peace in Parenting podcast. I'm Michelle, and I have a lovely guest, Jackie, who's going to ask a parenting question. Hi, Jackie. Can you introduce yourself and ask your question?
Good morning, Michelle. Thank you so much for having me. Like Michelle mentioned, my name is Jackie. I have a 9-year-old daughter. Her name is Sophia, and we live in California, San Diego to be specific. I was really looking forward to this opportunity to getting some direct advice from you, Michelle. Love your content, love everything you talk about. So I'm definitely ready to learn.
Okay, great. Let's dive in. So tell us what this lovely Sophia brings to the table that's hard.
More than anything, it's just like the authoritative personality she has. Like it can be sometimes a little bit challenging as a parent to have to deal with a kid that, challenges you every day, every couple minutes of the day. And it's trying to keep your cool as a parent. I know can definitely bring a toll on you sometimes. There are days that I'm like, I need a break.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's just learning techniques and stuff that I know I'll learn from you. That might help us as a parent.
100%. So I think, and we were talking before we started recording about kind of generational trauma or generational mindsets and ideologies that kind of get stuck in there that they're running in the back of our head and in our subconscious. And we do know it actually, but we don't know how to unravel it.
100%.
Yeah. So I think let's start there. So what was it like growing up in your house? What would she have done if you would have been defiant?
It's so weird when you get asked that question about like growing up, because 32, I'm not, much older, but I feel like your memory kind of starts fading away a little bit when it comes to your childhood memories. To me, my mom is always very laid back. It was very rare when she would like get mad at me. I feel like the issue became more when I became a teen, and you want to start going out with your friends and why can't I go sleep over at my friend's house? And I feel like that's where I remember the most having an issue. I was very attached to my mom. My dad wasn't in the picture. So now that you're mentioning it, it's just like little snippets of my childhood. My mom, I would cry. I would throw a tantrum every time she had to go to work. I'm thinking it's because I was just so attached to her. Like she was my person. Like I just felt like I was going to be abandoned if she went to work and had to leave me with my aunt or whatever. I do have memories of literally one of my aunts like locking me in a bathroom and I was crying and screaming in the window like, I want my mom. Like I want my mom. Like it sounded like I was getting killed. I was fine. I love my aunt. She was an amazing person. No abuse, no nothing. But it was just that feeling of like my mom leaving, like, oh my God, like how could she leave me? Like it was just.
Yeah. So your daughter presents defiant, you were saying.
Yes.
So describe one of these defiant episodes.
I feel it's more, she'll defy my authority. Like if I say it's time to turn off the TV, babe, and I'll give her a warning. I'll be like, hey, babe, 15 minutes, you have to turn off the TV, bedtime at 9, you got school tomorrow, whatever. And she'll literally wait until I have to come back again. And I'll have to ask her 2, 3, 4 times. And then that's when I get upset. Like, I'm like, I already told you, like, I gave you a 15-minute mark. I gave you a 10-minute mark. I gave you a 5-minute mark. Like, and then I tell you, hey, it's 9. Like, like you need to turn it off now. And she still like wanders and waits. So I don't know. It gets very frustrating at times.
Yeah.
Dude, like I already told you, like it's past 9. Now it's 9:20 and we're here struggling for you to turn off the TV. And I don't want to have to yell at you and get upset, but what do I do?
Yeah, this is good. So this is cooperation, right? So it isn't so much that she's defiant. Maybe she is in other ways, but she's not cooperating with you, right?
Okay.
She's
Yeah.
not doing what you want her to do.
Yes.
Yes. And it's hard. But I'm going to give you some ideas that I think might be helpful. Do you spend 20 minutes a day with her one-on-one every single day doing what she wants to do?
I need to work on that. I will agree. I feel like I'm very rushed. Mornings are very rushed. Get up, dress, breakfast, school. I drive to work and then I get back home. She's usually in gymnastics by the time I get home. So I'll drive from work straight to her gymnastics, which is like 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll pick her up and then it's rush back home, take a shower. She's already done her homework by then. And then dinner and bed.
Yeah.
Very rushed.
And so cooperation and connection go hand in hand.
Okay.
So the higher the connection, not that you're not connected, it doesn't mean you have a bad relationship. It doesn't mean everything is terrible. It means that's the piece we probably can work on some.
Okay.
Cooperation and connection go together. So when connection is high, so is cooperation. When connection is not doing well, neither is cooperation. And what happens in our old way of thinking and old parenting ideology, and probably what our parents used, was turn the TV off or else you're not getting TV ever again, or you're not getting it tomorrow, or you're not going out, or you're not getting dessert, or whatever it is. And so we would get
We
threatened.
have to use a threat. I hate that.
Yeah. It's terrible, right?
Yeah.
But then parents didn't know what else to do. But now we can do other things. So one thing I would suggest is 20 minutes every single day with her doing what she wants to do.
Okay.
And uninterrupted, phone down, no talking to anybody else, no distractions. You're fully involved for 20 minutes with her.
Okay.
After a couple of weeks, you will see a huge difference in your relationship.
Okay. I'm guilty. I feel like because of the week, I have weekends off. So the weekends, I'll be like, let's go to the beach. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Like I'll try to find an event going on here in San Diego, the movie night or whatever. I'll try to do something because that's, I guess, my way of maybe feeling remorse of, damn, like I didn't spend enough time with you during the week. I know mom's always rushed. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing at all, but I think and I think you're probably right. Like you're trying to make up for the week, right? Because the week was really hard. And so now I'm going to pour into the weekend. But these little 20 minutes really aren't a big deal. They're just tiny little 20 minutes, but they make a big difference in a kid's life. If you can just parse out 20 minutes. And then let's talk about the rushed piece. I was the queen of being rushed. And it was terrible. I felt terrible. The kids felt terrible, but I couldn't stop myself from rushing until I started to think that the rushing was damaging the relationship I shared with the girls.
Agreed.
And then we have to take a step back and say, why do we rush?
Lack of discipline, maybe sometimes. I know I could be waking up instead of 6, I can be waking up at 5:30, and maybe those 30 minutes will give me that extra time for me to do things calmly, and instead of waking her up at 6:20, wake her up at 6, like maybe work on those things.
Maybe that, or maybe also getting connected, spending 10 minutes with her in the morning, just playing.
Okay.
As opposed to,
Wake up.
tasks.
Let's go. Okay.
So we would get up every morning and play with the girls for 20 minutes before we did anything else. And that fills their connection cup because they're sleeping for 7 or 8 hours or 9 or 10 or whatever. And that's no connection.
Yeah.
Plus, before you went to bed, when's the last time they had connection with you?
Yeah.
And school, there's no connection.
No.
And so when is the last connection piece we can think of? Was it last weekend? That's not That's too much time in between. So if you just got up 10 minutes early and played with your daughter for 10 minutes, I bet you anything after a week or so, she would get through her tasks much faster.
Okay. I think I could work on that.
It's really easy. And actually, it makes your life so much better.
I know it's part of, adulting that we get caught up in all of our things and we forget to take time to think about our kids and realize that, like you mentioned, connection is so important. Having that minute to just kind of unwind and just be present. Because even though like I've done it before and I'll catch myself, I'll be like, okay, yeah, what's up? And she'll be talking to me. And then I'm like, oh my God, I didn't answer this email. Darn it. Like, and then I'll be like, wait, no. So what were you saying? I'm like, oh.
Jackie, I do the same thing. Pia just told me last night, she's like, come here and look at the cat. And I'm like, I can't look at the cat. I'm responding to a client. And she was like, okay. And I was like, oh my gosh, my client at 9 p.m. can wait.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I do the same thing. So you're not alone, but we have to get back focused, right? We have to say, okay, what is important in our life?
Yeah.
What is the most important thing? Our kids.
Yeah.
And so if we're prioritizing connection first, then you'll see a huge difference in the relationship and a huge difference in cooperation.
Agreed. Mm-hmm.
We're hitting pause for a moment to thank our sponsors. These brands make sure you can listen to this podcast for free. My sweet Esme has eczema and super sensitive skin, and it's not easy finding products that actually work for tough stains, but are also not irritating to the skin. That's why I switched to Blue Land. Their products are made to meet the highest environmental standards. Their products are not just clean, they're mom clean. Blue Land products are 100% plastic-free and made with certified clean ingredients that are safe to use around family, pets, and plants in the house. You don't have to choose between the safe option and what really gets your house clean. Blue Land products are independently tested to perform alongside major brands and are free from dyes, bleach, and harsh chemicals. And Blue Land is trusted in over 1 million homes, including mine. I love the dishwasher tablets. They leave my dishes really clean, and I don't even need to use rinse aid. Blue Land has a special offer for listeners. Right now, get 15% off your first order by going to blueland.com/peace. You won't want to miss this. blueland.com/peace for 15% off. That's blueland.com/peace. Are you a mom who feels like you're juggling it all, but something just feels off? It could also be your hormones causing this chaos. Hormone Harmony contains science-backed herbal extracts called adaptogens. Now, here's the beauty of adaptogens. They help the body adapt to any stressors like chaotic hormonal changes that happen naturally throughout a woman's life. That's why Hormone Harmony is perfect for women of all ages who are struggling with life-disrupting symptoms such as PMS, like irritability, moodiness, discomfort, or uncontrollable cravings, and menopause with symptoms like hot flashes and night sweats. The results are impressive. There are over 40,000 reviews on their website. Women cannot stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. So for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code PEACE. Check out happymammoth.com. Use the code PEACE for 15% off today. Okay, back to the show.
Okay, so we'll try those two things. And then another thing that I think is super helpful is, especially with television or shows or iPad or whatever these kids are on, is getting next to them. So instead of like the 7 warnings, and then on the 8th warning, you're yelling and screaming and upset and threatening and who knows what, but it's all kind of devolving. I would say get in the first warning and sit down next to her and say, what are you watching? What is this thing? Oh my gosh, Nora's nuts. These guys are crazy. And get involved in what she's doing and watch with her for 5 minutes. And then find a good break point, because nobody likes to be told, I need to stop right here. What if it's in the middle of the show? What if it's in the middle of a game? Like it's not fair. And so if you're sitting there for 5 minutes and you find a good breaking point, then you can say, okay, this looks like a good place to stop. Now, how about you and I go spend 20 minutes together? You're offering her connection to get her off her out of her, electronic world.
Yeah.
Also finding a good spot to stop. You're being present and you're not just barking orders. You need to get off in 10. You need to get off in 5. You need to get off in 3. Oh, you didn't get off.
That's what it feels like sometimes. And I feel so bad because I'm like, oh my God, like, like I wouldn't even like myself as a kid, like I'm like, stop, you're too much.
But we don't know any better because that's what our parents did.
Yeah.
And then they would threaten to take our TV time away. And then we would do it begrudgingly. And then we would feel crappy. And then it would just all get icky. And as kids get older, you have more and more of these interactions. And that's when the relationship starts to really sever.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if we can lead into connection at 9, at 10, at 11, then it makes 12, 13, 14, 15 so much better.
Yeah. That's what I am fearful of, that if I don't learn to make that connection now, that it's only going to get harder as she grows. And that's why I always try to listen to content like yours, the one you share, and try to connect with that and try to repeat it to myself. Like, this is the only way we can learn, because I learned what my mom used to do or what my family members used to do. And now it's just like, I'm trying to break that, that chain. I am like, I don't want that. I don't want my daughter to hear me say negative comments about my body, because that's what she's going to learn. I don't, it's just, it's so hard, but it's not impossible. And I realize that, I feel like as long as we're willing to work through it and learn new skills to improve us so we can, help our children, like that's all that counts. Yeah.
That's all that matters. And it's just replacing like this, authoritarian, strong, like I'm in my way or the highway, replacing that with connection can totally change everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really can. It really, really can.
Tips for electronic use. I find myself also struggling a little bit with that because, she's going on to 5th grade. All her friends have cell phones.
Yeah.
We tried giving her a phone, but I realized that every time she had the phone, her attitude changed.
Yeah.
So we slowly kind of took it away, couldn't find the charger, ended up not finding it. It got lost, whatever. So she doesn't have a phone anymore, but she has asked us, and I'm like, I don't think it's the right time yet. But she's like, but all my friends have phones and they're on TikTok and sharing. I was like, you want to use a phone? You can use mine. What do you need? Your friends can call you on mine. Like, you can use mine for now. But even then it's a struggle. Like we'll be driving right now in the morning to school and she'll want to check TikTok, like see what the friends were talking about. And I'm like, okay, like check it quickly, but that's it. Like no more, because you got to get to school. Like we got stuff to do. That's not the only thing I want feeding into your brain when we're driving to school. I want you to also, have that little moment where we interact and we talk. I don't know.
This is a whole huge, its own discussion, right?
Yeah.
But I'll give you a couple of things. I did an event a few weeks ago called Electronics Plugged In.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw it, but you can get the replay of that, which is a 2-day. I'll send it to you.
Okay, perfect.
I'll give it to you when we're done. It's a 2-day event that we talked all about electronics the entire time.
Okay.
So that might be really good for you to take a look at.
Okay.
I'll give you my top 2 things from that event. One is the biggest predictor of our child's electronic use is our electronic use.
Agreed. So if they see us constantly being on the phone, what can you expect?
Yes. And so a couple of rules that I like to use and that my ex-husband and I used is that when the kids were in the house, there were no electronics for the adults.
Oh, okay.
And so we would put them up from after school until bedtime. We would not have our electronics in use.
Wow, I feel like that would be so challenging, and it's not impossible.
No, it's not impossible. And maybe you modify it for yourself or whatever it is, but it's a bold statement to your children about how important they are and how unimportant electronics are. So if you make electronics important in your house,
it'll be important for them too. Absolutely.
Right. And so that's a big thing. And in the mornings, we did the same thing. No electronics in the mornings. And then the second thing is that when we have too much scarcity, it causes too much desire. So if you over limit, then you have a kid who wants it so much
Yeah.
So there's a balance in the give and take around electronics, but then also we have to be very safe, right? What are the parental, locks on your phone and your devices? What is your internet, server telling you that you can bring into your home? There's all kinds of, really good tools we can use to keep ourselves safe. And then the other piece, the third piece, I was only going to do two, but I'm going to do three now. The more connected you are to your child, the more connected relationship you have with your child determines how safe they will be in adolescence.
Sorry, by connected, would you say being open, like having open conversations with them?
Yes. I'd say no punishments, no threats, no bribes, no consequences, no rewards, because when a kid lives in a house that doesn't have those things, they feel they can come to you no matter what. Like, what if something happens online and they encounter a predator?
Like my mom's going to get mad. She's going to yell at me. Agreed. No bribes, no.
And so if you are not getting mad and you are not punishing and you are not giving consequences and you're coming with connection instead, then they will come to you if something bad happens. And I think that's a lot of what happens with predators is the predator will say, you're going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
If you tell.
Right now that you mentioned that, this morning, I had just had a conversation with my daughter because yesterday she saw a YouTube video where the kids are ditching school. And she's like, oh, I want to ditch school. And I was like, oh, where did you hear that? She's like, well, I saw a YouTube video. They were this and that. Like she kind of explained it. And I was like, oh my God. Like, in that moment, my crazy mom side was like, no more freaking YouTube. Like you're done. But I was like, no, relax. Like that, no,
Yeah.
that's not the way to do it. It's more of just having that conversation with her and, like you said, connecting and that's what you saw there. First of all, they're creating content. It's not always true. And second of all, it can be dangerous. If you ditch school, your parents won't know where you are. School won't know where you are. And plus it's not what our family does. Maybe other families allow that.
Or there could be another alternative where you say, yes, who needs a ditch day? I need a ditch day. Let's do a ditch day at the end of the year. I'll do a ditch day with you.
Oh, okay.
Because then it's like, okay, if I want to ditch, all I have to do is ask my mom.
True. She did ask me. She did say, I don't want to go to school today. And I was like, oh, darn. Like, I wish I could tell you, let's not go to school today, babe. Like, I'll take you to work with me. But I can't.
But maybe there is a day, where you can set it up, where you can say, guess what? I got the day off to do ditch day today with you.
Okay. I think I could work that out. Okay.
Right? Because it's like, let's just take the sting out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, don't we all want to ditch one day? And wouldn't you rather her ditch with you?
Yeah.
There's just different ways. And I think we get stuck in our old school mentality, right? You can't ditch school. You have to be there all the time. You have to be on time. You have to get all your work done. You have to, study hard. But do you?
No.
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 You don't.
That's so true.
Well, this was lovely, Jackie.
Thank you so much, Michelle. I really appreciate you taking the time to, have this conversation with me. It means a lot. And once again, thank you for sharing all the content that you do. I know I'm not the only mom that sees your content. I'm like, oh my God, I need to work on this. Like I need to. So for just you taking the time to, get a mom on here and just talk about her experience and what we're going through means the world. And I look forward to hopefully meeting you one day at an event or something. That would be great.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Jackie, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you sharing with us. We so appreciate it.
Does connected parenting feel confusing? What do I do in this situation? How do I handle that issue? Let me help you make more sense of it all in my 30-day challenge. We meet for 4 weeks of group coaching, and you get access to all of the Peace in Parenting online materials, my entire Connected Parent Mastermind. Plus, we give you access to our school community. I help you get more connected and jumpstart your parenting in this 30-day challenge. So go to the show notes and sign up, and I'll see you there.
Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit ActiveDay.com to apply.
Prescription products require completion of an online medication consultation with an independent healthcare provider through the LifeMD platform and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Individual results may vary. Additional restrictions apply at lifemd.com. Read all warnings before using GLP-1s. Side effects may include a risk of thyroid C-cell tumors. Do not use GLP-1s if you or your family have a history of thyroid cancer.
Should GLP-1 weight loss medication like Wegovy and Zepbound cost thousands of dollars? We don't think so. TryLifeMD.com helps provide insurance access to the leading GLP-1 medications. Visit TryLifeMD.com and check your eligibility for GLP-1 medication with copays as low as $0. Listen to Bridget's story after losing 55 pounds and using her insurance for coverage.
LifeMD helped me get covered with my insurance. Finding out that it was covered was huge. I've lost 55 pounds. I am so much healthier now that I've lost the weight. I would never be able to do it without them.
Get started today and check your eligibility for GLP-1 medication with copays as low as $0 at TryLifeMD.com. That's TryLifeMD.com.